So for everyone who's already familiar with the software, you will immediately notice that there's a new button in here. On the bottom right, which is semi-transparent when you're not using it. So that means it doesn't cover any important information and it doesn't disturb you while working. If I hover over it, it becomes solid, it glows, letting you know that it's prepared to be activated. And if I click on it, the AI Copilot opens up. You should already be familiar with, I think. And even if you use these AI tools that have been popping around in the last 2 years, I think you'll be familiar with this as well. And of course, it gives you a list of possible prompts you can give it, right, to give you an idea of what it can do. But I'll write my own prompt and it will be basically building up on this one. And I'll ask, what is the wire cross section? Oh, I have a typo here. Cross section for copper wires at 64 amps. And let's send the request and see what we get back. And the proper cross section is recommended to be 10 millimeters square, right? And of course you have to consider factors. It tries to be correct here, which it should, but I got the answer. This is the answer that I was looking for. And I know that I have been carrying around lists of cross sections in the past when I was still designing electrical schematics. This would have been very useful to me back then. But this answer could also be found on the internet, right? I could do that if I wanted. It's nice to have it in the software, right? Because you don't have to open anything up. You can just type away and ask. But like I said, it's a question that everyone could have found on the internet. What's more important to me is to ask a specific question to the software where there's no answer on the internet, right? Or maybe it's in the help, but yeah, let's have a look at some of the questions we can ask. And let's go for how can I turn the grid visible and invisible, and send that. So it gives a comprehensive answer. So you can do it in two ways. You can either use the menu, go to the view menu on top and look for the option labeled grid. Aha, found it here, so the answer is correct. Or using a keyboard shortcut, you can toggle the grid by using the F7 key, which is also provided here. So this is the answer that I was looking for, right? So it can also answer specific questions to the software settings or particular things you can do in the software. And this is, of course, highly beneficial for new users who are not yet familiarized with all these functions and functionality. As you will see, both short and long formulations are possible. The Copilot understands what you need. Here's an example of a longer request. Which key was it again that turns the grid on and off? I learned it in the training but seem to have forgotten it. This ability of the AI Copilot to handle different formulations is particularly advantageous for beginners who may not yet be familiar with the exact terminology or specific functions of the software. While experts usually know exactly what they are looking for and how to formulate their requests precisely, beginners only have often a vague idea of what they want to achieve. The AI Copilot is designed to understand and answer such vaguely formulated questions as well. Let's take the question about the grid as an example. It's maybe not the best example for an expert, but let's go with it.
An expert might directly ask for the key combination to turn the grid on and off. A beginner, on the other hand, might ask, how can I show and hide these guidelines on the screen? The AI Copilot understands both formulations and provides the desired information. This flexibility in formulation allows beginners to use the software intuitively without having to first acquire an extensive technical vocabulary. They can ask their questions in their own words and still receive precise answers and assistance. This not only enhances usability, but also significantly flattens the learning curve to productivity of new users. Explaining the software functionality is just one of many capabilities of the Copilot. We have carefully analyzed where artificial intelligence, in its current stage of development, can offer the greatest added value for you. In doing so, we have identified 4 main categories in which AI will be particularly useful. As I mentioned before, AI is excellent for explaining software functions. In addition, AI can provide comprehensive information on both your specific projects and general technical questions. This technology can also be used for troubleshooting and analysis of your projects. And the most important category, it supports you in working more efficiently and easily by executing complex commands in the software for you. I would now like to demonstrate this last category to you next. Especially the advanced users among you will certainly be pleased to be able to execute complex commands that often need to be repeated and generally routine tasks with a single sentence instead of many clicks. Let's look at some examples. What I'll do now is try more advanced stuff, not only asking questions and having it answer me. And this looks promising, but I want to push it a bit more. So I'm gonna change the formulation and I'll say generate the bomb. And also do the cable list and the cover sheet. And while you are at it, please generate the terminal chart. Why not? Terminal chart. And let's say please again, just to be nice to these assistants. And look what happens. Blink and you'll miss it. Bill of materials done. Cable list done. Cover sheet done. Terminal chart done. Right? Everything was done in a matter of seconds. Think what I would have needed to do all these things. I would have had to go here, right click, generate, do whatever, or from the reports, select and deselect the ones I need, I don't need, and then wait for it to load, wait for the cursor to spin and whatever. It would have taken me at least 1 minute, right? But now, with this AI Copilot, I just write what I need and it does it for me in a matter of seconds. This is how strong this is. This is how powerful this is. Now let me close this because we have a lot of ground to cover. So let me do something else. What do I need? I'll ask for it to give me a wire attribute with the properties, I guess. Potential L1. I was too fast and clicked. Okay, let's try it again. Give me a wire attribute with the properties. Potential L1, color black, and cross section, let's do 4. And And now watch the cursor. Bam! Done. Let's have a look at it. So potential L1, wire black, and the cross section of 4. Nice, 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 nice. I shouldn't have pressed enter here, but it doesn't matter. Now, let's see something interesting here. I'm going to build upon the previous prompt, and I'll say instead of L1, I now need L2, please. And now watch the cursor. Done. And have a look inside. It's L2, just like we asked it. And I'm gonna push it now. Let's see if it works. If it's not, then it's my fault. Now do L3. Enter. Let's see what happens. Bam! It gave me, hopefully, yes, L3. And that's it. See how powerful this is, especially when you build upon the previous prompts and you're doing a workflow and working in this way. This is extremely exciting. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to demonstrate a complete workflow. So you've seen me doing this. Let's do something more interesting. And now I'm going to open this test project, add a few schematic pages. Let's do 4. Create a new topic. And now let's start doing more interesting stuff. And let's say place the macros in feed. Let's do service socket, also N distribution and PE distribution, right? 4 macros. 1, 2, 3, enter. 1, 2, 3, 4, done. That's my page. That's my page. The in feed, the service socket, the PE distribution terminals, and the N distribution terminals. Easy as that, right? Let's move on to the next page. And here I want to place my ventilation. I don't have a macro for it, unfortunately. Or let's assume that I don't have. But I do know the part number, and I know that I used it before somewhere. So what I can do to just copy it from wherever I placed it is ask Copilot, where did I use the ventilator 3239100? And enter. And it found this part number in two projects, right? And what I want to do is now I want to copy the schematics. And to copy the schematics, I want to open the project. So let's say open the first one, please. Enter. It's here. Have a look at it. Done. Opened. It opened the project for me. This is really cool, right? So what I can do now is to go to the Material Explorer to find it and say 3239100. Click on this. It found it here. Jump to it. There it is. That's our ventilator. And now let's copy this page. Move back to the test project on page 2 and paste it. And done. Right? Easy as that. Well, one thing here. I hope you already know that we are not fans of copying and pasting from older projects, because what happens is you also copy errors with you, right? Or when you're putting the copied part in your project, it might come to some conflicts or some incompatibilities. So you always have to make sure to check for those errors. Now what I can do is ask Copilot, do I have any errors in this project? Please check it. Let's do the smiley. Yes, let's be nice. Oh, I do have a list of errors that I have in this project. So yeah, remember not to copy paste. So some open connections, some code without context, whatever. I'm not gonna fix them now, but you get the idea. Now you can also check for errors with Copilot, which is extremely nice. Let's do one more thing. Let's say I need some macros. Let's say that place the macros, let's say motor DOL, and what do we have? 3 pole potentials. Enter. Bam, bam, done. Right? Simple. And let's do something that you saw before. Give me a wire attribute, but now let's make it a bit difficult for him. Let's not say which is the potential, which is the color, and which is the cross section. Only say L1 black and 2.5. So I hope this works. I'm pushing the limit. Let's see. L1 black, 2.5. Okay, now I'm very curious to see. At least it did something. L1 has potential, black as a color code, and 2.5 as cross section. Perfect, exactly what I wanted to do. So you see me pushing the limits all the time, and it just keeps up. Love to see it. Okay, I'm done with this now. I think I want to generate the bomb again. You'll see where I'm going with this. You already know that it's fast. It does it in an instance, but it generated the bomb as an internal file, as a report in the project. And hey, I actually wanted an Excel file. Let's see what it does now. One, two, three. That's my Excel file. Now think about what you would have had to do to generate this. You would have to go into the bill of materials, have it configured, go to the drop down, do this and that and whatever. Now just type and it will do it for you. And actually I'm still not satisfied, because these are not the properties that I wanted actually. Okay, sorry. I actually want the Excel file to include the following placeholders or properties. Part number, manufacturer, and let's do function text. Enter, and now let's wait for it. Function text, part number, and manufacturer, just as we wanted for it to do. Again, these are complicated things that you have to dig deep in the software to get them out. Now, with just a sentence, you can just ask for what you want, and it's done. It's there, right? One more thing before we go. One more thing. I'm not finished with this project yet. Now, let's do place the macros. You already seen this. CPU, PLC potentials, right? Okay, these are the macros, but watch here. And give me a wire attribute with, let's do what? Again, potential 24 volts DC, cross section 0.75, and yeah, let's leave it at that. And also we want to generate the cover sheet. Now, a lot of things going on here, but I'm throwing everything at it, and let's see what it's doing. Bam, the CPU and the potentials are there. the cover sheet is generated and the wire attribute is here. I just have to place it on the right page. 3 things with just one prompt. 3 things with just one prompt. This changes how we think about software, and in particular about electrical CAD software. And I'm really excited to go on this journey with you.